It's a business, not a charity. Yeah, well, first things first, it comes down to pricing. I mean, pricing is such a huge thing that most people they wonder about. They're like, am I charging enough? Like, what should I be charging? But they don't know. And at the end of the day, you have to run your numbers. That's the only way to know exactly what to charge for handyman jobs. You have to know how much money you got coming in, how many hours you're spending, and how much money you got going out. There's a great formula in the Handyman Pricing Handbook that you guys can check out that really breaks it down to figure out what your hourly rate is. And I think that all of our pricing, all of our estimating comes down to what that hourly rate. So what does it cost you to run your business for an hour? And that's what your hourly rate is. So you could kind of call it your hourly need. Figuring that out is step number one. So I figure if you're going outside of the town you live in, you're probably spending 2 hours on whatever job it is, even if it's the smallest job. Sure, if you go out and replace a light bulb, it's probably just going to take a few seconds, but you're still taking your time away from another job to go and spend time doing that job. So you should be compensated for that. So I figure that any job outside of your town is probably going to take you about 2 hours. So if you've done the math, our hourly rate is $175. And so we charge $350 for outside of our town. That's 2 hours. So it's a 2 hour minimum. We don't tell people that. We don't ever tell people what our hourly rate is. That's a back end number that only you should know, that you should figure out. But you got to figure out what your hourly rate is. And then for in Roseville, we have a 1 hour minimum. But our 1 hour is $175. I think it's important because at the end of the day, it costs you to operate your business. And if you're not paying yourself to operate your business, then what are you in this business for? It's a business, not a charity. And if you're just throwing away money like that, you're never going to get anywhere. It's basically like you're stealing a hot dog out of your kid's mouth. So I'm a big proponent for minimums. I think it's a very important thing that you have to do. So you have to respect yourself. You have to respect your time. You have to respect your value. At the end of the day, you have something that is very valuable that people want and people need, and you should charge accordingly for that. And if people aren't willing to pay your minimum, that's perfectly fine.